Strangely, we aren't helping ourselves in some ways. We need to ask whether we're proud to be one of the 45. Is it the right language we're using? Does it use facts and information to counter the blatant lies of the No campaign and present an alternative? Or does it alienate them and entrench their views? We want the 45 to become 50, 60, 75%. The facts speak for themselves in favour of independence. The moral argument isn't up for debate. But if we've learned anything, we know from people we've spoken to that what turned them from no to yes was information, dialogue, discussion. That's what we need to do. The thousands of messages I'm getting from yes and no supporters are testament to this. We don't want to risk derailing the process by alienating anyone. To those who took a stand against the attacks on society's weakest and most vulnerable, to those who believed in fighting for those who cannot fight for themselves, to those who believe we can build a better society, that power is still in our hands, not in the hands of the privileged few. To those who fought with heart and mind to make us the nation that we want to be, I salute you. I was always fully aware that Westminster has a system of influence and control that permeates every facet of society. We have watched the people of Scotland waking up, though, en masse, to the harsh reality that our world is nothing like the world we want it to be. There's a major step that we've just taken in the raising of consciousness. The movement has seen facts pitted against fiction in an information war that reached its apex in the last few weeks, when some truth bubbled to the surface and some folk changed their minds. We need to get that truth to the surface, and we need to get more folk to change their minds. Keep up the brilliant work. The next statement is from Brian Cox, actor. There was such a huge percentage of our young people voting for yes. We owe it to them to keep the elephant firmly in the room. The issue is not going to go away, nor should it go away, nor should we go away. We owe it to these young people to keep up our efforts. Two more statements to go. This one is from Vivienne Westwood. Let's hear it for her. Her statement reads, Scottish independence could have been the turning point towards a better world. We could have led by example. It could still be a great day for democracy. They already have a more democratic financial system, no tuition fees, and they care for people, they really care for people. They just wouldn't do what we're doing in England. In England there's hardly any democracy left. The government does what it wants. That which should belong to people, it gives to business. I think what Vivienne is saying, that argument that Scotland was a piddling wee lump on the top of Britain and we couldn't show the world how to do it, has been completely blown out of the water. We know we can show the world how to do it. And the final statement today is from Craig and Charlie Reid, the Proclaimers. We're sorry we couldn't make it to your rally, but we would like the following to be read out in our absence. We are fully in support of continuing this struggle for independence. We are more confident than ever that Scotland will be an independent nation. The Yes campaign is the most dynamic, inspiring movement in our lifetime. The cuts that are yet to be made by Westminster over the coming years will provoke rage against most working class voters in Scotland. The young people and the working class of Scotland took us very close to our goal, and over the next few years the same people will carry us to victory. Thank you very much.
And now we're going to have a song from Amanda Brown and the Piper singing Flower of Scotland.
Wow. Can we do two? Give me an intro. Sorry, 2 seconds. Oh, where is God? When will we see your lights again that fought and died for, and we that hill and glen and stood against them? Proud Edward's army and sent them homewards to think again. Those days are past now, and in the past they will remain, that we will be strong now and be a nation again and stood against them. Proud Edward's army and sent them homewards to think again. I'm going to come back.
We now have Sean Martin.
Hello. I've only really sung in front of 5 people, so this is pretty big. But we just lost my lyrics, so I'm hoping it all goes well. But this song's called 45, I hope you enjoy it. From the Edinburgh West, from the Edinburgh West, the Westminster, well ain't they a joke? Days after the referendum, the promises were broke. If you pay for your TV license, then don't pay it again. 'Cause the money goes back to England and they spend it all on them. I am one of the 45% who voted yes, who voted yes. I'm a proud Scottish man from the Edinburgh West, from the Edinburgh West. I am one of the 45% who voted yes, who voted yes. Thank you.
now have a speech from a young gentleman who's only 18, who's talking on behalf of the youngsters who voted. Please welcome Sam.
Hello, brothers and sisters of the Yes Movement. It is an absolute honour to be speaking here today, and it's amazing to see so many of you gathered here in support of this magnificent movement. Now, over the past year, I have been passionately involved in the Yes Movement, and it's been great to see so many people come together in support of an independent Scotland. I think what we have seen over the past year has been one of the most amazing displays of cooperation and grassroots democracy that the UK has ever seen. And with all but one common goal of social justice and equality. Young and old working together for a better future and a better Scotland. Now, I know many of you are probably disheartened after the events of last week, with us only missing out on the vote by 6% of the vote. But what I want to say to Westminster, and this is proof that we are all here today, that the Yes Movement is not dead and we are still here. Now, with each coming day, we are seeing the promises that Yes Westminster have promised us. We are seeing them fade away. They have said that we are better together, but how can we be better together when 100,000 Scottish children will be living in poverty by the end of the decade? How are we better together when the entire nuclear arsenal of the British Empire is sitting in the Clyde? And how are we better together if the Westminster government are starting a new war in Iraq that we haven't agreed to? Now, before this movement, I know many young people in Scotland were disengaged with politics, but it has only been when I started to get involved in the Yes Movement that I have seen thousands of young people around Scotland becoming passionate again about politics, joining political parties, and I know we may have been defeated last week, but we will carry this movement on. Now, the Yes Movement has changed the attitude of the Scottish people. We have had our taste of freedom, but we do not want just a taste of freedom, we want the whole cake! So, keep wearing your Yes badges, keep having your posters on the wall, and keep holding these rallies, because we are here to stay! And by voting for the SNP, no matter what party you support, by voting for the SNP in the upcoming elections, I believe with conviction that we will see an independent Scotland within the next 5 years! Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
I've now got a Cal Rogers.
Hello, how you all doing? I've written a wee speech for you here. No problem.
Eat the mic. Eat the mic.
Get right up to the mic.
I just want to say that for everyone that voted yes in the referendum, you really did do your country proud. And for everyone that let doubt get the better of you, the time will come sooner than you think to do the right thing for the future of your country. I'm glad to see that the time of mourning has passed and the time for optimism has been reborn. When I go home I can take my black saltire down from my Facebook profile and put up a big vibrant blue one. Now let's let the whole city of Edinburgh know we're here to make some noise, eh? Now, despite what they fat cats down the roads want you to believe, the UK is entering a bleak new area of politics, I want to take a second to tell you about TTIP. I don't know if you have heard about it. TTIP is a transatlantic trade and investment partnership, and it puts transnational corporations above national and EU law. And this is coming to the UK. That means that once they get their hands into the NHS and their hands into fracking, it will be irreversible. The government won't have any legal ground to stop them. And with it comes regulatory harmonisation. That's when they merge EU regulations with US regulations, and it downgrades a lot of the regulations that we have set up to protect the people and the environment. And it's the newest regulation, it's the easiest to harmonise. Like the recently legislated Social and Healthcare Act that opened up the NHS for private investors. Well, when that happened, it instantly became opened up for transnational investment. And once this becomes part of TTIP, it will be irreversible, and that means the Privatisation Act will be irreversible as well. If the government stand in their way, they can be sued for hundreds of millions. It means that every government voted in after this one, doesn't matter who it is, they won't have any grounds to stop what's happening because they're above national law. But rather than the media storm about this, of course, we hear nothing. In any fair country, being subjected to such an agreement, it would be all over the papers, all over the news, something as massive as this, but we don't hear anything. The UK is now a propaganda machine that's left its people in the dark. And it's up to us to shine a light for them. Through social media and social interaction, it's up to us to open people's eyes. And what makes me a proud Scot today is that more and more people are standing up with a passion to take the future of the country into their own hands. That more and more people are standing up to fight for people living in deprived areas who the so-called government have forgotten all about. We're ready to fight for social justice. Every single one of you out there is a hero of the modern world. This is more than just a fight for independence. This is the spirit of a nation rising up against corporate giants for the good of their fellow man. And for that I thank us all.
Hello. I had a speech but I dropped it. So I'm just going to wing it. Let me see. I wanted to talk as a younger voter, about the younger voters, and obviously to address them I need to address the older voters. Now, the older voters rely on the television to, give them all the information that they need. And in the last campaign it was predominantly negative, and the banks are leaving, the prices are going up, and obviously they believe that because they don't have anything to balance those opinions. Now this is where the younger voters come in. We have Facebook, we've got information at our fingertips right now, but you need to pass that on. You've got parents, you've got grandparents, get them involved and keep them involved. Take the fears that they have and get rid of them. It's the only way to take that 95% of people down to 45, down to 35, down to 20. We need to keep the older people engaged and make sure that they're not fearmongered out of another vote when we get that chance again. I suppose that's really it, and since no one else has said it, freedom!
Hello there people, I'm one of the old folk he was talking about. My name's Jim Doolan and I'm from Lanark and I voted yes. I've written two pieces here, one's a bit of prose and one's a poem. They're both called the 45%. So here's the poem first of all. It goes, despite their mighty force, the British establishment could not dampen the voice of 45%. When pressure and Ted's the Three Stooges were sent, but this could not diminish the 45%. Every dirty trick was used that BE could invent. They tried to deflate the 45%. When the result was known and the truth so badly bent, promises were broken to 45%. But the battle's not over. No matter their intent, they will never subdue the 45%. The second part's also called the 45%. Now it's a wee bit of prose. The acorn of independence was planted 2 years ago. The root system has been steadily growing since. More recently, the fledgling plant was fed with all the nutritional shit. The No campaign was was feeding it. Latterly, the small plant, it's the oak tree, was poisoned by the lies and propaganda designed to stunt its growth. We must not let this growth diminish or die. The oak must be allowed to grow in strength so that in years to come it will be so strong and robust that no amount of negativism will stunt its growth or poison it again. Independence is our right, as pronounced in the Declaration of Arbroath in 1320. We should never again be subjugated by the English establishment. Today we must fight for our wee bit hill and glen with the passion and decorum of the political means, rather than the might of the sword and other weapons of war. We can influence the outcome by voting in the next general election in 2015, returning over 50, and ousting the influence of Conservatives, Labour, Liberal and deluded UKIP. We must continue to engender pride in our roots. From now on we must accept the will of the people during the referendum. Although we know the knowledge that this was founded on fear and intimidation of the vulnerable voters, we still must grudgingly accept the will of the people. But we will not go away. Yes, we are staying and we are growing stronger.
I'm going to sing you a wee song, probably one of lots of people's favourite, so wish me luck. And see the changes that have come over me these last few days. I've been afraid that it might slip away. Telling the stories and singing the songs that make me think about where I came from. That's the reason why I feel so far away today. Let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and I'm going home. And if I should
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of Scotland. My name is John Duffy, and I'm here today to represent my feelings on the Yes campaign's outcome so far. I will try to keep it short and sweet as possible. You all may feel that your hopes and your dreams of a better and independent Scotland have been crushed, but in all truth they have been strengthened and recognised by people all over the world. I knew the journey to independence was not going to be so straightforward and easy. Anything we're fighting for in this world never is. But we can take these hopes and dreams with us. We, together, as a people, can will those dreams into reality by never giving in and bringing people from all classes and backgrounds of life together and show Westminster we, as a people, will make this happen, and we, as a people, aren't going anywhere. Each and every person here should be proud of themselves and leave here today knowing they are the voice and presence of Scotland, and that you have done your children, your grandchildren and the future generations of Scotland proud. Thank you everyone, and thank you for your time. Sir Albert!
I'd like you to welcome Kate Higgins.
We are Independence for Women, but we're probably better known as Women for Independence. We didn't realise there were going to be speeches here today, so we hadn't really planned anything, but when we saw all these men getting up, we thought it was about time we muscled in the action. Women for Independence is proud of the contribution we've made to achieving 45% and 1.6 million votes. It wasn't quite enough, but we've grown hugely in the last 2 years. From a standing start that involved forming 12 of us over a glass of wine, we now have over 2,000 members, and next weekend we have 1,000 women and a huge waiting list wanting to join our first post-referendum event in Perth. We're not going anywhere. We're here for the long haul. I think to keep Selma happy, and one of my sisters in the Women for Independence, I'm going to say 3 things. The first one is, hands up who's got a granny. Okay, keep your hand up. You are really, really important to us in the next few years, because next weekend or over the next month I want you all to go and visit your granny and explain why you voted yes and why she shouldn't have voted no. And you need to keep that dialogue going. 30% of women over 65, 30% of women over 65 voted yes. Nearly 70% voted no. We need to have a dialogue with the nation's grannies, your granny, my granny, everybody's granny, to persuade more of them in the next few years to see why, when it comes round again, they vote yes. The second thing we all need to do is we need to keep our young people and our young women in this country. Many of them are desolate having voted yes, and some of them are talking about leaving. Please don't go. We need you for the next 5 years. We need you to get involved in Women for Independence. We need you to build for the next generation. And the third thing is, I was proud to spend referendum day with the community of Muirhouse and Drylaw. Over 70% of people in Muirhouse turned out and voted. Normally the vote is around 30%, and that's on a good day. They were queuing out of the polling stations waiting their turn to vote. It was incredible to watch, and over 70% of those people voted yes. They knew what they were voting for. They were voting for hope, and they were voting for power, and they were voting for control over their own lives. And it wasn't just in Muirhouse, it was in EH16. They're over there, they've got their banners, it's not over, they're staying put, they're here for the long haul too. So the third thing that we need to do is become community activists. This is fantastic. The dream will never die as long as we have gatherings like this, and we have so many women in particular in our gathering. But where we build for next time is in those communities. We cannot turn our back on the ones who came out and voted yes overwhelmingly. We need to become community activists. So get down to Muirhouse, get to Wester Hailes, Oxgangs, Craigmillar, Niddrie, and offer your services. Help them start taking power and control over their lives. The dream will never die. It won't die for Women for Independence, but in the next few years we are focusing on what we can do to deliver independence for women with the powers we've got. Join us. Thank you.
Hi there. My name's Anna. I'm a Leither, born and bred Scots. I want you all to give yourselves a massive round of applause for voting yes. Well done! Woo! I'm up here to say a wee bit about the supposed rigging. Now, there's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of people that have been saying this is definitely not the case. There's some people that have a lot of doubt. I'm not up here because I trust in YouTube. I'm up here because I don't trust in Westminster. I don't trust in the media! Okay, so for all of you that have doubt, or for all of you that do not have doubt, please remove the doubt for Scotland, for all these people that have been feeling manipulated by you and by all the other people that have been Tory elitists in their lives. So basically, I just want people to get themselves on change.org, sign a wee petition. It's not very much. We're down a few thousand, and soon it will be illegal for them not to do a recount. Now, 6% that we went down on for not getting independence. I don't know if I've got trust in my heart to say that that's all right, because, you know, there was a few fire alarms and stuff went off. There's doubt. There's doubt. Remove the doubt for Scotland! Now, the rigging rally is here tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you turned up today and you care about freedom for Scotland, you care about truth, be here! Bring everyone you know! Freedom! Thank you!
We're now going to have a few songs, basically so that people can just have a rest from the speeches. But before I pass you over to Ted Christopher, I have heard that there's a lady in the crowd somewhere, Sue Kelly, who's celebrating her birthday at this rally. So can everybody please sing happy birthday to Sue?
I'm coming home. I'm coming Now I'm returned after all this time to Caledonia sky, to the country I died for, so that our nation could survive. Once again to stand beside the people I hold dear, for Scotland, St Andrew. Scotland, St. Anne's.